welcome back to For Real Guide. Hope you're all having an absolutely incredible day. And I wanted to ask you guys a question. Are you someone that you would say is working on yourself? Maybe you're calling it doing your shadow work, or embarking on your spiritual journey, or maybe healing your inner child, reparenting yourself. There's a bunch of different names for it, but essentially it's working on your personal growth, trying to fix some things, trying to solve some things, and become a better version of yourself. You probably are, considering that you are watching this video and come to this channel. I definitely am one of those people as well. I've been going through my personal growth journey since about 2019. It happened after a bad breakup that I had with a boyfriend, and I realized, hey, there is, some toxic, bad behaviors of mine that I learned growing up that I really need to fix and that I don't like about myself. And through my journey, I've felt really empowered. I feel like I've made a ton of progress, and that's what keeps me getting up in the morning, is that every single day I have a new chance to be even better, even more emotionally regulated, and a nicer, calmer person every single day. And I'm sure a lot of you guys feel that same way, that maybe there was one specific instance that really just made everything click. Like, okay, I'm ready to start growing a little bit more. And I think that's awesome. I congratulate each and every one of you for trying to improve yourself, because self-improvement is amazing. Whatever your improvement story looks like, maybe you're trying to be, a more positive, optimistic person, less depressed. Maybe you're trying to be less aggressive and regulate your emotions more. Maybe you're trying to be a more productive person and, schedule your workouts and eat healthier and do things like that. Whatever your self-care or, personal growth story looks like, I commend all of you for doing those things, because what we're doing is creating a better, more productive, more advanced, I think even more empathetic society by all working on ourselves, which is awesome. That being said, working on yourself sometimes absolutely sucks, in my opinion. And I'm sure a lot of you guys probably feel the same way, especially if you've been working at it for a little bit of time. There's a lot of positivity out there with self-growth, self-improvement, self-help, things like that. We see all the motivational posts on TikTok and Instagram, and we see people that have put their own stories on Instagram or Facebook or TikTok saying, hey, this is where I started and this is all that I've learned, and like, hey, I'm going to therapy and I'm so woke, I know so much about my spiritual self, or, reparenting myself, doing my shadow work. It seems like everyone is thriving and everyone's doing awesome on their personal growth journey. I frankly don't think that it's talked about enough that a lot of it is really hard and really confusing. I want you to know that if you're going through your personal growth journey or your spiritual journey and you feel lost and confused and maybe even start to like yourself less at certain points, that you're not alone. I'm right there with you. I go through ups and downs in my personal growth journey all the time, and I'm sure majority of people watching this video also feel the same way. So I'm gonna be going over 8 different self-improvement, self-growth struggles that a lot of people are having based on what I'm feeling and my own research on the internet and asking people. And I'm also going to be giving you guys some tips and some friendly advice on how to combat those struggles and to remain positive through your self-improvement journey. So without further ado, let's get into it. So the first self-improvement struggle is the feeling of lack of freedom. So when you start to pinpoint different things that you want to improve upon, you start to become a little bit more regimented. Maybe you're someone who's trying to work on not being so angry and not showcasing your anger in a negative, toxic way. And so where it might felt way more freeing to yell and scream and throw things and punch things, you're trying to be a little bit more reserved. You're trying to cope in healthier, different ways and not have these outbursts. However, that might make you feel less free. Maybe you're trying to work on being a generally healthier person, and you're going to have to cut out going to the bars or going to fast food restaurants as much. Or maybe, you are going to have to wake up early and force yourself to go to the gym at 7 a.m. And you don't have that freedom to do whatever you want to live this unhealthy lifestyle anymore. While that feels super motivating and can make you feel really positive about your improvement, it also can start to wear you down. I know that I'm someone who craves freedom. I love freedom, whether it's physical freedom, mental freedom, freedom from people, free to do what I want. I love freedom, and I'm sure a lot of you do as well. And I've noticed that when I'm trying to hold myself accountable for some things, I lose that feeling of freedom. Something to think about is that the reward of accomplishing something and becoming a better person is sweeter than just the ignorance is bliss, I'll do whatever the heck I want, I don't care mentality. Because a lot of times if you don't care about improving and you're just living this willy-nilly lifestyle with all this freedom and not holding yourself accountable, you just create this loop, this repetitive pattern of feeling happy and then feeling really bad and then feeling crazy and then feeling disappointed in yourself and then feeling terrible and then feeling awesome. And sometimes it does feel better to hold yourself accountable and have a clear set path in front of you that you know you can accomplish. So the second struggle that comes with improving yourself is loneliness. Isolating yourself from friends, family, work opportunities, anything. Creating these healthy boundaries can sometimes feel very lonely. If people or things in your life no longer align with this new version of yourself that you want to be, this new value system that you've created for yourself, then you're going to have to separate from them. This is what creating healthy boundaries is all about, and essentially it's a good thing. Because in order to become the best version, the happiest, most optimistic version of yourself, you need to surround yourself with the people that also have those values. Having a core community of similar-minded people is how you all grow together and you ensure that toxic people don't bring you down. But it sucks to look your old friends in the face and say out loud or in your head, I can't be friends with you anymore. To take a break from hanging out or talking with family members or isolating yourself completely from them. It's really tough. One thing to help you through this is the phrase that time heals everything. And I know we've all heard this before, but it's absolutely true. Time will heal. Think about all of the friends you've already had and already aren't friends with anymore. All the opportunities that you were super obsessed with. Maybe you were in a sorority and it was amazing and now that's over. And guess what? Time healed the separation anxiety with those different things or people. Because setting these healthy boundaries is important for your self-growth, and time will help you remove yourself from the toxic or just unnecessary relationships that you're having right now. Because the most important relationship is the one with yourself. People are going to disappoint you. Groups are going to disappoint you. Communities are going to disappoint you. Don't disappoint yourself by sticking to those people out of the fear of not being around that comfort. You're going to have so many new opportunities to meet so many new and exciting and amazing people. So saying goodbye to some of those old ones is just part of your journey, and I promise you time will heal. It will all be worth it. So the third struggle that comes with reaching your self-improvement goals is the exhaustion of never reaching perfection. When I got my mind set on becoming a more calm, emotionally regulated, stable person, it's all I thought about. And honestly, it's still something I think about every single day. I'm literally always thinking about how could I have improved myself with that conversation I had? How could I have been a more calm and better person? How could I have been a more active listener? Pretty much every single day. And you might be right there along with me. And since you're trying to improve as a person, there's always something you can work on. It's not like you go to school for, however many hours a day and then, okay, I worked on school, that's as much as I can do, I'm gonna go to bed. You are always a person, so you are always susceptible to be wanting to improve your person. It's a 24 hours, 7 days a week type thing if you allow it to be. That being said, There's no such thing as perfection. You cannot strive for perfection. You can't let your fear run you rampant because you're not perfect enough yet. All you can do is strive for excellence. Don't exhaust yourself by feeling like you took some steps back or you messed up or you're not getting to your goal fast enough. Like if you're trying, regardless of if you've reached your goal yet or if you've taken steps back, you're trying. And if you exhaust all your energy trying to be perfect, then you're going to get very burnt out. And then the entire goal that you have in your mind is not going to matter anymore. So my suggestion is to try and instill it in yourself. Try to force yourself to believe that you can achieve goals and you can be excellent at it, but that you will never be perfect. And also there's never going to be just one set day where you're like, all right, like I'm perfect, that's it, because that doesn't exist. Usually with self-improvement and self-growth, it's a lifelong journey. Don't ruin it by thinking that one day you're going to be perfect. Convince yourself that you are excellent for trying right now and that you will become more and more excellent as each year goes by. Give yourself a break and don't be so hard on yourself. The fourth struggle that comes along with self-improvement is that it exposes all of your flaws. Letting go of that ignorance is bliss mentality sucks. You're literally putting a magnifying glass up to yourself and trying to figure out your problems in order to improve upon them. You're literally digging around for your problems, and it's going to make you feel bad. That's why a lot of people don't go to therapy, is because they know they're gonna have to go through this traumatic stuff and relive certain things that they don't want to relive in order to improve upon them. But trying to just cover up these negative attributes and just, become a happier person, become a more motivated person, that doesn't happen. You need to get to the root of your struggle in order to become the person you want to be, in order to succeed in your self-improvement journey. That's just the way it works. One suggestion I have is to not focus so hard on that trauma, those negative attributes that you want to improve upon. Yes, that is how we heal. That's how we grow, is to find the root of it and to improve upon it, but also allow yourself to be thankful and to love the certain attributes about yourself that you're thriving at. I'm really bad at relationships because of my parents, and I'm super codependent and struggle with that sort of stuff. And it's something that I don't like about myself, and I will never just blindly force myself to love about myself. It's something that I'm improving upon, but I'm also a really good friend. I'm a really good listener. I'm a hard worker, and those are things that I don't struggle at. So make sure you're balancing out your mind with good things about yourself. If you have to write them down and stick them on your wall to constantly remind yourself, I think that would be a great idea. So you don't get so down and out about these things that you're trying to fix. So the fifth struggle that comes with self-improvement is getting confused and brainwashed by different information and resources out there. A lot of times, the more you know, the less you know, and the more information that you come across that's out there, the more confused you might get. I know that this has happened with me and a lot of different people. Sometimes if you're a spiritual person, you might not even really know if what you're going through is a spiritual thing, or if it's literally a brain chemistry thing, or if it's a behavioral thing. It can be so confusing what the root of the problem is and how to solve it. I know I have a friend who literally spent over $1,000 with a spiritual healer, and I've spent countless amount of money working with psychiatrists and therapists. Everyone has their different thing, but you can also get lost in that. Am I going to the right therapist? Am I doing the right spiritual healing? Am I reading the right books? Am I listening to the right motivational speakers? So much information overload can leave you really confused. I always say, try to not panic. Try to ingest this information and think about what your gut's saying. If you think that you're listening to something because, other people really like it and they rave about it, that's okay, but is it something that really resonates with you? Is it something that leaves you feeling genuinely content about? Or is it just popular opinions? Always question everything. I know there's a lot of this stuff on TikTok with these spiritual people or these, mental health people saying, this is your problem, this is how to fix it. This is your problem, this is how to fix it. I take everything with a grain of salt. I always say I can believe in everything and nothing. And that's what my suggestion is for you, to just be a little bit skeptical of the information out there and trust your gut to lead you down the right path with these resources. So the sixth struggle that comes with self-improvement is when you take a step backwards and you make mistakes. It's so hard to not feel burnt out and to keep moving on and have that positive mindset when you've slipped up, you've made a mistake, especially if it's like you're going through a rough patch and you keep making mistakes. It feels like, okay, why am I even trying anymore? I just keep taking a ton of steps backwards, or maybe I took 2 steps forward and then 7 steps backwards. Maybe give yourself some time off from this thing that you're trying to improve upon. If you're trying to be less aggressive, maybe try to do more calming activities or take a break from hanging out with certain individuals. Maybe if you keep not being as productive as you want to be, maybe allow yourself to not be productive for a week or however long you need, so that you start to forgive yourself for being human, and then you can approach the goal and approach the self-improvement tactic again with a fresh, positive mindset. There's nothing wrong with taking a break. You're only human. And convince yourself that. If your significant other slips up about doing something, maybe, they're trying to be less aggressive and they accidentally yelled at you. Or maybe, they wanted to lose a bunch of weight and then, kind of fell off the workout plan. You'd probably look at them and say, that's okay. Give yourself a break, cut yourself some slack. You're gonna get it. You're gonna improve. Why aren't you doing that to yourself? Do that to yourself. Forgive yourself. Allow yourself to be human for a sec. The seventh struggle with your self-improvement journey is losing your reason for trying to accomplish self-improvement in the first place, losing your motivation essentially. Something to note is that you always should have an actual reason for trying to improve yourself. If you're just trying to go to the gym more, to be healthier, is it because all your friends are doing that? If you're trying to be a less fiery, argumentative person, is it because you're just dating someone who would prefer you to be less argumentative? What is the real reason you want to change those things? It should not be for anyone else or because it's popular. It should be for yourself. If you do have a genuine reason, then it might be hard to stay motivated sometimes. You might lose yourself. You might get depressed along your journey. I know I've been there for sure. Why am I trying? I keep making the same mistakes over and over again. An exercise that has helped me is I picture my future ideal version of myself. And that girl is calm and she's not jealous and she's a stable-minded, emotionally regulated person. And whenever I feel like it doesn't matter, I want to throw my hands up and give it in and not care about my behavior anymore, I look at that girl in the future and I say, nope, that's my reason. Or, maybe you want to have a better relationship with your kids. You want to be a better person for your future kids because maybe having kids is really important to you. Think about those kids in the future. Think about how, maybe you want to save money so that you can send your kids to college because you didn't get that experience. Think about your kids. Think about your future self. Think about whatever it is and just force yourself to visualize that. It's going to make you want to keep going. Even if you have to create a vision board or, create mantras, put a poster on your wall or notes in your phone, just keep reminding yourself of why you're doing this. Okay, so the eighth and final struggle that comes along with your self-improvement journey is this imposter theory that everyone seems to have, this fake positivity that everyone is showcasing all over the internet. Everyone seems to have it figured out, right? And you don't. Everyone seems to be improving and have this amazing life, and you're still struggling, you're still behind, right? That is something that I've gone through a lot as well. People on social media are posting all this stuff, seeming like they've got it figured out, and you might feel like you are so behind, but that's simply not the case. Something to think about that I've realized very recently is a lot of people seem like they're so much ahead of you or they've got all their stuff together. simply because they believe that they do, but they really don't. They're covering up all of the flaws about them. You're the one that's uncovering your flaws and trying to improve upon them. They're the ones that have these deeply rooted things that they should be improving and aren't. And so they're putting on this fake persona like, everything's fine. I'm God's gift to planet Earth. I'm perfect in every which way. I've got my stuff together. But they simply are ignoring some things about themselves. So you should be proud of the fact that you are one of the people out there that is holding yourself accountable and trying to improve. If you genuinely think everyone's got it all together, got it figured out about their mental health or, their financial stuff or just their overall happiness about their life, it's probably not true. Everyone's got stuff going on. No one ever reaches perfection. And, everyone's just in this life struggling along, trying to make the best of it. You're not alone. Well, there you guys have it. Those are 8 struggles that come along with trying to grow and working on your self-improvement journey. I hope this shed a little bit of light onto, the real problems behind this mask of self-care. I know it might seem a little bit negative, but I find that I was starting to feel like there was something wrong with myself, and it was starting to make me love myself less because I was trying to fix myself, and it seemed like everyone else had their stuff together and everyone was thriving. And then I realized, no, there's a lot of people going through the same stuff that I'm going through while I'm trying to better myself. So I hope you feel maybe a little bit more seen and a little bit more heard, and you feel like you have a little bit more of a community to talk about the problems that come along with being a human and growing. Keep your chin up, keep working, give yourself little breaks here and there, and know that there are people out there that are going through the same things that you are, and it's all gonna pay off in the end. Every single day is a blessing, and you get to be a new version of yourself every single day. So I also wanted to share with you guys this book. It's called The Untethered Soul. You may have heard of it, you may not have. It's a really great self-help book that dives into knowing yourself more, understanding yourself, and then working to build yourself up and becoming a more complete version of yourself, having a more positive mindset about who you really are. And it says the word soul in it. It is a little bit more of like a spiritual approach, but it's really like not that spiritual if you're not someone that is very spiritual. It's really just about self-improvement and self-growth. So I definitely would recommend it for everyone. And if you are looking for more books, more resources like that, let me know and I'll provide, more self-help books that are out there that I've really enjoyed that have helped me. Well, that's it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Definitely comment below if you did, which tips helped you, or if you have additional tips for me or for other people, definitely comment those because I could use some help, and I would really like to know how you guys are working through your self-improvement journey. And last but not least, make sure you like and subscribe so that you keep seeing more and more self-help, self-growth, self-improvement videos, and we keep continue to grow this community.